So, how long have you guys been together as a band?
I'm not so sure answer it.
You can answer if you want.
I'd say about 4 or 5 years. We don't have a particular date. We should really make one.
I think for like the first year, all we was doing was writing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it takes years for a band to find their sound anyway.
Yeah, it does.
So
I know that.
We spent the first year just kind of pretending to be a band. Like, you know, we thought, let's get together, play some songs, but we weren't actually doing anything.
no,
We just
writing.
in the
really.
studio trying to think of songs and song ideas. So for the first whole year, it was pretty much just us messing around in the studio and just having fun. And then once we started actually writing songs and kind of thinking, this doesn't sound too
They're
bad.
okay.
Yeah, they're not bad. We started booking up some shows, and that's really when our lineup became how it is at the moment. The two others that aren't here, Tom on guitar and Joe on bass. And Joe joined the last one to join, and it was for like our first show. So that's how we all got together, and we haven't changed since. Our lineup's been the same for 4 or 5 years, so that's really helped us. I
That
think.
was actually one thing I was going to ask, because a lot of bands obviously go through changes in lineups throughout the years. You know, you see someone and you're like, oh hi, and then they're like, no, it's not you again this year. On stuff of what you've written and stuff over that obviously the first year you got together, what was your biggest show? Would you say that really sparked?
Oh, the first year that we got together.
Yeah, like your biggest show of the first
year. The
year.
first year was a pub with about 5 people.
The loaded dog, probably.
Good times.
But we did play with the band, like, for our first ever proper show as our lineup was In Case of Fire, wasn't it? I'm not quite sure if they're around now, but at the time they were quite big.
I think at the time they just supported Fightstar, or were just going to support Fightstar. That was our first ever show as our lineup, and to us that was like a huge show. And it was at it was in Harlow, at the Harlow Square, which is pretty much our.
That's where we always play like our hometown shows.
Yeah, we classify it as our hometown show. So it was good to play there, and it was a pretty big crowd.
Yeah,
it was about 200 people, and for our first show. As a proper band, that was huge.
I think it was great. I think it's always good as well to go in at the deep end and just obviously even today, like we'll go to towns and nobody will know us and never.
Well, it's the only way you can get in.
Exactly,
around,
and
isn't it? So.
I love that. I love going to a place where we've never been.
Apart from our hometown show, it's so much nicer to do a bit of travelling. Although Kent's not really travelling from Essex, but when you do get to drive, and you do get somewhere new, and it's really nice. Like we just spent 2 weekends ago. We were in Scotland, doing a couple of shows up there, and it was really nice to just have a wander around Scotland.
And it was really surprising, like, because we'd never been there before, so we didn't know what to expect with like crowd and people, but every single show we played was rammed. So for us, it was like, we've never been here before. How do you guys know us?
People singing along to our songs. And
the power of the internet.
Yeah, it is. It literally is.
It's taken over.
It has.
Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and everything. And it's brilliant. We played a show the other day, and these 2 girls came up to us. They're like, we saw your songs on YouTube on, like, the little side page, the suggested videos, and they checked us out and they really liked it, so they came down to a show. And you just think, the reach is so big, you don't even know about it, and it's great to see.
Bearing in mind, that is actually how I found out about you.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to talk to you about, is your McFly show.
Yeah.
You obviously supported McFly.
Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a big deal.
That was awesome.
It's probably one of my favourite shows
I
today.
would say so, yeah.
It was. We just went and saw them actually. We got given tickets to go watch them play the O2 with as McBusted, which was incredible. They're such a great band, and they write such good songs. So to support them was brilliant, and their fans.
Their fans are crazy, but are really good crazy. Like they still. Like that show
I'd say the majority of our fan base for a good 1 or 2 years was all from that one show. We sort of in the region between sort of 6,000 to 10,000 followers on Twitter were all just from that one show.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely crazy. They came to as many shows as they could, no matter how far it was. If we were playing a show and they could get there, they would come. And it just goes to show that supporting bigger bands and getting out there on the scene is really the way forward, because you pick up fans along the way.
I was going to say, because obviously you sort of supporting McFly. Obviously, if I mentioned that to a couple of people around here, then they're going to go, oh, like we might come to check you out because you supported them, and
it definitely does have that effect. When you say you supported someone as established as that, it gives you a bit of reputation. People go, they must be okay. If McFly will have them, they can't be terrible. But yeah, we've played with McFly. We also played at Download Festival. So
Played with a variety of people,
we
actually.
have, and it's always really surprising the mixed response we get, because people, I'd say we kind of fit in sort of the pop punk genre. And then people hear we play Downloads, and they kind of feel like it's not really a pop punk festival.
No. And everyone's always like, how did that go for you? And to be honest, like, for us to play there was amazing, really. Like, to have the opportunity to play there anyway, but we were all pooing our pants a little bit, because it is a metal festival, and you've got us, like me in a little frilly skirt jumping around on stage. But
there was a fear of being, bottled on stage.
but they loved it. Like, the tent was, you couldn't fit any more people in the tent. And for us, like, I personally got a little bit choked. So I was like, I couldn't believe how many people were there.
It's always good when you play somewhere where you're not expected to go down well.
And it was your birthday.
It was my birthday, and you go to somewhere like Download, and you think, it's not really our sort of music scene, but to have people come in and appreciate our music for being what it is probably, it's a massive plus for us, because we sort of think, these guys aren't really our fans, but at least they enjoy our music, they appreciate our music.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask you about is obviously your single and your album. When is the album due out, and like obviously how's your reactions to the single, because that's taken off pretty well?
Yeah, so the album comes out on the 3rd of June, which through how well the single has done, I am so excited for people to hear. Like, we've had over 32,000 views, I think now.
Yeah, in about two weeks on the video for our first single off the album, which is SAVIOUR. So the response from that, we were a little bit. It was the first thing we've released in about a year. Yeah. So we were really nervous and anxious.
And it's our first album. Like, that's us, how we are now. So you don't know how people are going to take to it.
No.
And everybody. And
it's got a really good response. So.
Sorry, there's ants everywhere.
Ant 1 or Ant 2?
It's Ant 3 actually.
So no, we've got a really good response. Everything's been really positive from that. So it's kind of really given us this big boost that the album's hopefully going to go down really well.
I'm so excited. I can't wait for people to hear it.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's that kind of music. Like, SAVIOUR is just a small taster of what, like, you guys have to.
What's to come?
So I think people will be excited by it. I am.
It's definitely. It's probably the most pop track off the album, actually.
Yeah, I would say so.
So.
And you're in a comic store. So
shooting the video was brilliant. It was so much fun. It was great fun.
We're all big fans of like Marvel and
all the comic-y stuff. Tom's the biggest geek though. Yeah, we always go watch films like Avengers, and we'd all come out saying, "Oh, it's really, really good." And Tom would be like, "Well, it's not quite true to the original thing." He's always got there's always something to say. There's always something to pick at, and he's a die-hard fan. So it was good to be in there. We got given loads of free stuff from them, like loads of comics and stuff and souvenirs. But really, like they were really nice to us, and they let us shoot in there. So they closed the whole store for us.
Yeah,
so
it was really good fun.
It was a good day.
But we filmed some of it on Brighton Pier, and that I've never been so cold in the whole of my life. Because obviously, like, we kind of wanted to make it like it was a hot summer's day.
In the video, it looked a bit windy.
But really, I was shivering. Like, I couldn't feel my feet for the whole entire day. But it was worth it.
The video came out really well. We were really happy with it, and we were just glad that it went down so well. And hopefully, people are going to look forward to the album. Yeah.
Right, last question. Are you doing any festivals this year that you wish to announce?
I think the ones that we are, I don't think we can announce yet.
Yeah, there's a few that we've been approached, and we're still waiting to hear that final confirmation.
But we definitely will be at festivals this year. So there'll be a big tour as well, which obviously we can't announce yet. But
and that'll be obviously for your album.
Yeah, everything that, as soon as we announce anything, it'll be up on the websites.
Twitter, Facebook, all of that stuff, all that social media stuff that everyone relies on now.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good year.
Brilliant. So do you want to like clearly out and say clearly what your Facebook is and what your Twitter is and so?
Yeah, so people have Facebook, I think most people do. It's facebook.com/reachback, and our Twitter is just @reachback. We got in there nice and early. No one else has taken that yet. And our website is www.reachbackband.com.
You said that nice and clear, well done.
I did, yeah, I made sure.
Diction.
Made sure it was
brilliant.
crisp.
Well, it's nice to meet you guys.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.